Smiling dog hopes you have an awesome day. What's immoral but not necessarily illegal? Unplugging your friend's phone to charge your own when visiting their house. Fun fact, if you do this, they have the right to kill you. One of my friends does it, so I unplugged it just enough that it doesn't charge, but looks like it plugged in. And when her battery died it was like, ah yeah, must be something up with my charger. Mwahaha. Making researchers pay to have their work published. Charging fees to anyone who wants to view the work, and not giving anything back to the researchers. Luckily, C-Hub allows you to jump the paywall and read the researcher's work for free, and all you need to do is plug in the website URL. Otherwise, just email the researcher and they'll send you a free copy because they don't paid for their research paper. And this is illegal but moral. Ad world. Listening to music on your phone on speaker while people are around you. On the bus, for example. You should be taken to a wood thicket and swiftly shot. And even if you remove the quotation marks of disdain, it still applies. You could literally be playing my favorite song, and I still wouldn't want to hear it blasting out of your phone. Leaving meat or dairy on some random, unrefrigerated shelf in the grocery store. Duck you. Generally, you can go to a grocery store, fill a cart with whatever you want, then just leave. Sucks, but certainly not against the law. Cutting in line. Elementary schoolers have agreed. High schoolers made this a petition. Middle schoolers have signed the petition. Gambling away the money your spouse set aside for your child's college. Pretty sure that's illegal as it qualifies as theft. Not if the money has been held in any kind of joint account. Using bots to buy all the PS5s then selling them for double the price. Edit. Some people saying it's illegal. It is in some places, just not everywhere, including where I am. Easy solution. Limit one per address for the first 60 days that something is released. Imagine a company doing something purely pro-consumer. MLM schemes. My mum got sucked into forever living. It's pretty much an aloe vera cult. Private equity firms that buy out existing and sustainable companies only to leverage them with as much debt as possible, bankrupt them, and sell off the assets, leaving all the employees out of work, communities unserved, and themselves with massive profit. Yay, but unlike most things on this list, this should be illegal. Making people pay to park at a hospital. So tacky. Or making people pay to park at the courthouse. Yes, it was only $6 the night my grandma died, but ugh. It's not like I was there for a business meeting, and hadn't the hospital already made enough off her for a week of life support. Charging hundreds of dollars for insulin, or for EpiPens, or that drug that literally will stop you dying in the middle of an opioid overdose. You know, opioids, those drugs farm companies created an addiction epidemic around. Not returning your shopping cart to the corral and leaving banana peels in them. Used masks and rubber gloves is the norm now. Paying someone below minimum wage and having them make it up with tips. Yeah, I worked a job through high school and some of college where I made $2.13 an hour, which is legal. If we didn't make enough in tips to meet minimum wage, they would yell at us and threaten to fire us because they didn't want to pay out extra. Some of my coworkers overreported their tips because they were afraid of losing their jobs and came out with less than minimum wage many nights. Insane hospital prices. No one knows how much they charge for stuff. For all we know, they could just be making up numbers until your bill reaches an insane amount. It should also be illegal for hospitals to hide/concess costs. It should be transparent, so rates have to be competitive. Since the holidays are approaching, getting a dog or other pet as a surprise Christmas present for your child, only to give it away when you realize you're not equipped to care for it. Also remember, air holes. If you forget, then you incite the real excitement. Or deciding you don't want a pet anymore because you got pregnant and think a baby and pets at the same time is too much to handle, so they just leave the pets outside one day confused as to what they did wrong. Duck. My neighbors, man, managed to adopt one of their cats out so far. My current dog had that done to him. Then when he was seized he got adopted, then returned and adopted, and returned again, and again, until I got him. Now he is scared to go in the car, because he never went anywhere except the shelter. Jokes on them. He's a purebred that is newly classed as a candidate for the AKC. Watching the next episode in the series without your watching partner. I have been waiting months at this point. Sigh. 3 strikes rule. If you try to arrange 3 times, or offer to watch, and they refuse or want to watch something else each time, you get free reign. Faking a pregnancy to trap a guy. Also having a sperm donor pay child support cause it's genetically his child. Cannibalism is not illegal, at least in the US, if the person who you eat isn't murdered, and in there will request to be eaten. BRB. Updating my will. Let's just see how badly my relatives want their inheritance. If you want the inheritance, then eat my ooh. I know this one. My uncle has Down syndrome and attends a local developmental workshop where they are taught skills and placed in the community to work. It came out that his caseworker, female, was sexually abusing him in the bathrooms at work, and when police were involved it was discovered that, in our state at least, it couldn't be considered rape when the female is the aggressor. Other, minor, charges were filed, but this blew me away. Immoral? Oh duck yes. Illegal? Nope. Driving around town with your remote, changing people's channels. Thanks for the idea. You are 4 parallel universes ahead. Loaning money to desperate people at insane interest rates through payday loans. My mom was stuck in a payday loan cycle for basically all of my high school years. I honestly don't resent the people who own those places that much. You gotta do what you gotta do to survive in this miserable country. It's the politicians who allow that shit to be legal that really piss me off. They're the ones making the moral choice. In the US, rural dialysis clinics can refuse to treat a patient for reasons unrelated to safety or health and force that person to travel long distances multiple times a week for care. For the unaware, not getting dialysis when you need it will kill you. It's cheaper to die. I mean, it's always cheaper to die. Cheating on your significant other. Corporate lobbying. Taking more than one piece of candy from an unattended bowl on Halloween. Private prison system. Because of this, the US has the highest incarceration rate in the entire world, significantly higher than Russia, which is the 2nd highest country. Refusing to vaccinate your kids because you're one of those morons who think vaccines contain heavy metals, microchips, fetal DNA, and Satan's urine. Completely immoral, but sadly not illegal yet. When I was a kid, around 8 or 9, we went to the mall to buy presents around Christmas time. There was a box where you could write to Santa what you want for Christmas. By this time I knew Santa wasn't real and decided to write a bunch of vulgar messages to Santa. I was with my sister and my cousin at the time, and they wrote a note saying that I wrote all the vulgar messages and then told my grandma. My grandma laughed and told me that the police would arrest me if they found out. I never liked crying in public as a kid, so I was trying my hardest not to cry. I wanted to go home so bad, but it seemed like they were trying to stay in the mall. I was so scared that when they went to get ice cream, I did not get any. As soon as we got in the car, police sirens went off somewhere, and I just burst out crying. On the way home I could not stop crying. When we got home I hid under my grandma's bed until my dad picked me up. For a week, after I felt guilty, TLDR, wrote vulgar messages to Santa and thought I was gonna get arrested.